All right, what's going on there, America? It's your buddy Marcus coming to you from the Sloppy Bro Show. Hope everybody had a good Monday. I know Mondays are the toughest for the week. Luckily, it is over and behind us, so now we can burn through the rest of it so we can get to the weekend. Because I don't know about you guys, but that is my favorite part of the damn week. So anyway, didn't really have any intentions on streaming tonight, but I came across some information in my news feed that I just had to share because it is really important, especially since it's not been that far gone since Virginia and all the bullshit that they went in through with the whole Second Amendment and the 2A laws that they've been passing. Apparently, and I'm going to pull this up right now, Michael Bloomberg is trying to do the same thing here in North Carolina. Apparently, a group, actually, I picked this up on the Herald Sun, which I believe is out of Raleigh. A group that spent millions of dollars in Virginia to help flip the legislature is planning to spend money in North Carolina aimed at the General Assembly and gun laws. All 170 seats in the state house and senate are up for election this year, so that's very important for those in North Carolina. Those seats, all of them, are coming up for re-election. So this election in November is going to be more important now than ever to get out and vote and get candidates in that are going to support the Second Amendment and gun laws. Anyway, the Everytown for Gun Safety Action Fund, which is the political arm of Everytown for Gun Safety, is spending $250,000 on a digital ad campaign to pressure the General Assembly to pass gun safety legislation, like a red flag bill proposed in the 2019 session by Democratic state lawmakers. Now, Everytown for Gun Safety SPAC spent $2.5 million on campaigns in Virginia in 2019. That's how they were able to get all that shit flipped blue. Okay. Also, a lot of voters stayed home and didn't participate in the election cycle, so that was a big part of it too, especially the Republicans. The group's affiliated with Democratic presidential candidate Mike Bloomberg. Mayors Against Illegal Guns, which was co-founded by Bloomberg, is also part of Everytown, as is Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America and Students Demand Action. Okay, so these are some pretty big groups here, that are trying to, pass these damn unconstitutional laws, for the Second Amendment. Now, luckily in North Carolina, you've got states that are going ahead and declaring sanctuary. You got counties in North Carolina that are going ahead and declaring themselves sanctuary counties. So that's a good thing, but I'm afraid it's not going to be enough, especially if Democrats end up flipping North Carolina blue, which, let's be honest, they almost did it last election. I don't think the Reds kept it by much. So, again, folks, it's now more important than ever to get out there, register to vote if you're not already registered, and when the election time comes, get out there and vote. Don't let this one pass you by. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at another Virginia, and we don't need that. So if we go on, he said the first ad called North Carolina on Notice, which, okay, it's a pretty ballsy ad, will run on Facebook and be targeted to suburban women and African women voters. It notes that 1,300 people die by gun violence each year in the state. The most recent data from the Centers for the Disease Control showed that there were 1,430 firearms deaths in 2017 in North Carolina. In 2016, there was 1,409 deaths, and in 2015, 1,289 deaths. So I don't know what those numbers are including. Is that including, suicide, murder, self-protection, defending your property or whatnot? I don't know the exact statistics on that, so I will be researching that later. But, regardless, it doesn't matter. The Second Amendment guarantees us the right to bear arms. Shall not be infringed. Period. Any change in North Carolina's gun laws has so far been supported by Democrats and opposed by many Republicans. In January, 50 members of the Republican House caucus signed a letter supporting counties that declare themselves Second Amendment sanctuaries and are opposed to any new gun regulations. Everytown also released poll results from Global Strategy Group that shows a majority support for stricter gun laws. The poll of 602 likely voters found that 79% supported red flag laws, 54% supported stronger gun laws. The poll also showed that 64% of respondents agree it's possible to keep guns out of the hands of criminals and other dangerous people while also protecting the rights of gun owners. I don't know how possible that is because let's be honest, criminals, they don't follow the law, period. That's why they're criminals. They're lawbreakers by nature. So they're not going to follow, anything that they're given. But, they've only polled 602 likely voters. So, that's not even a smidgen of the state's population. So I don't know how accurate these numbers are. But the fact that 79% out of those 602 supported red flag laws, it's pretty fucking scary. There's no due process with that. Just the mere accusation, can get your guns taken away. Then you've got to fight and spend the money to go to court to get those rights back. That's just not. You can't get any more un-American than that, people. Anyway, we scroll down a little more. Everytown and Moms Demand Action criticized state lawmakers who went to Virginia for a gun rights rally in January in their announcement Monday. Everytown, Moms Demand Action, Students Demand Action volunteers are now calling on the legislature to act by passing gun safety measures, including extreme risk legislation, the group said in a news release. What the fuck is extreme risk legislation? Sounds like bullshit to me. Democrats proposed 2 gun regulation bills in the 2019 session, but they did not make it out of the committee in the Republican-led General Assembly. House Bill 454, a red flag bill, would allow family members or law enforcement to petition a judge for what is known as an extreme risk protection order, which would restrict a person's access to firearms if there was evidence of them posing danger to themselves or other. What kind of evidence are they looking for that? One of the bill's primary sponsors, Representative Marcia Morey, a Durham Democrat and former judge. This is not a partisan issue. This is a public health emergency, Morey said in August as Democrats tried to renew attention to the issue. So, here we have a Democrat who used to be a judge. This person needs to be voted out in November. So I don't know who's in that area in charge or what candidate's going to run against her, but whatever it is, we need to get behind and support them because that's crazy. She obviously does not care about the Second Amendment. However, there has not been Republican support of that bill or House Bill 86, which includes several gun regulations. Okay, so that's good. Republicans obviously didn't support it, but as we go down through the article, there are Republicans, though, that are starting to flip on this gun legislation shit. They're starting to show support for it. So those Republicans, or rhinos as I would call them, we need to get their asses out and replace them with candidates that are going to support the Second Amendment. This is it's too important an issue, and we do not want to go through all the shit like they went through with Virginia. Whether you like guns or not, it is a fundamental right, a God-given right in our Constitution that we have that, just like the First Amendment and the other amendments. All of them are important. I believe we got 24 amendments now, so every single one of those are important, and they shouldn't be taken away, by our, elected leaders. Hey, what's going on, these nuts? Welcome to the show. So, gun safety is a winning issue among Democrats, Republicans, and key voting demographics who decide elections, Kepner said in a phone in with the NNO on Monday. She said there needs to be more common sense gun laws. Anytime they use that word common sense, basically it just means they're getting ready to try to give you the shaft. Because the only common sense gun laws are no gun laws. Because the only people gun laws affect are the law-abiding citizen. the person who follows the law, that pays their taxes, that goes to work, that's contributing to society, doing everything that we're supposed to do. You know, we're the ones that get punished. Criminals, once again, do not follow the law, period. That is why they are criminals. So when you pass these gun laws, you're not hurting the criminal because they're not going to follow that shit anyway. You're hurting me, the law-abiding citizen. Anyway, if you want to check out this article, it's at theheraldsun.com. I believe it was published just recently, as a matter of fact. Today, as a matter of fact, February 3rd. So go check that out and read it for yourself. It's scary times that we're living in, folks. I mean, before Virginia, there were already 18 states that passed, red flag laws. And it's not cool. These laws don't do anything but to hurt us, the people that follow the law and do what we're supposed to do. And remember, folks, gun rights are everybody's rights. They're gay rights. They're trans rights. They're black rights. They're white rights. They're Hispanic rights. They are American rights. And if you are a citizen of this country and you live in this country, they are your rights. They're right when they say it's not a damn partisan issue. It's bipartisan. It affects everybody that lives in this country. So come November, we got to get Governor Cooper out. We got to get those Democrats out of the Senate and the House. We've got to protect our state and our gun rights. Period. So, any of y'all sitting on the fence thinking, I'm going to sit this one out because, my guy, that's bullshit. It's a cop-out. Get out there and vote, especially on the local level. Local elections are far too important to sit out. Yes, they don't have the glam and the glitz as the national elections, but we got to get out there and do our part, folks. Otherwise, we're going to lose everything that we're given. And I don't want that, and I know you don't want that. So everybody do their part. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that right now. Other than that, we got to stay vigilant and keep fighting the good fight. Because nobody's going to do it for us. We got to do it for ourselves. Period. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this episode short. Like I said, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I came across this article, and I'm sure, from now until Election Day, we're going to see more of this stuff. Yeah, I heard about that. That was a good thing. I'm glad they were able to block that, because that Governor Northam is completely out of control. So I'm glad they were able to get something done, because I know that a lot of that shit still went through even after the big rally. Which, speaking of rallies, North Carolina was supposed to have a rally in Raleigh on this past Saturday, but it did get canceled due to weather. So I'm going to wait until they come up with a new date to get that rescheduled. But I implore all North Carolinians, that are for guns, go and protest. Let them know we're not going to tolerate the shit. We're not going to be the next Virginia. So everybody needs to unite and support the Second Amendment. But like I said, as soon as I find the rescheduled date for that, I will get that on here and let you guys know as well. Other than that, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. My channel's not being monetized because I don't have enough viewers or subscribers. I am looking into getting on Subscribestar, but I do have a link that you can make donations to, because it does cost money to run all this shit. Just what I spend up and high-speed internet per month, so I have enough bandwidth to stream. And then the money that I invest in equipment, to try to make it as, clean and clear for you guys as possible, because nobody likes to look at, a shitty damn, video on YouTube. So, oh, cool. So, D's Nuts thinks that they might have rescheduled it for this coming weekend, so we'll have to look into that. We'll have to make sure that that's the case. But actually, I'll do that this evening or tomorrow, and I try to get that information out to everybody ASAP. Outside of that, just remember, respect one another, love one another. This country belongs to everybody. We've got to all do our part to keep this wheel turning smoothly. Love people. Anyway, as always, thanks for tuning in and stopping by. And I will catch you fuckers on the flip side. Peace.